Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets. Oh, we said Tom spent the last 20 minutes giving out about stuff. Well, Tom did. I listened. I was like,
I'm very funny, to be honest.
it was one of the best emails I've heard in a long, long
time. All good with you. You've been off jollying around the place, literally on a jolly.
I've been on a bit of a jolly the last 3 days. I've been in the Cora. I went out with Connor, Janet, and Leona from Punchestown. We went to the Carlton House for a bit of dinner and a few drinks, and as any typical Irish party ends with a sing-song.
Lovely. Sounds like
our bosses were over South Africa. It wasn't just a random piss up. It ended up into a random piss up.
Yeah. I don't believe you, and the listeners don't either. And Dave definitely doesn't.
We went for whiskey tasting. And there was one I can still taste in my mouth. It was one that is dried with peat. It was terrible.
No.
It tasted like a bonfire and it was in my mouth. No, that charcoaly taste.
That's my favourite type of whiskey.
Oh, you would have loved it.
I got a couple of bottles of scotch like that, properly peated whiskey.
Yeah, so it was really scotchy kind of taste to it. It wasn't like a whiskey taste at all. It was not golden goose, what is it?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. It was, look, the Carlton House is one fantastic venue. It's like where you had your wedding down in Castlemartyr. It's an estate.
Must be good.
It's fantastic. There till about 2 o'clock in the morning having to sing songs. Right crack.
That's the job.
Right. There's a small few perks to the job. Just not going to lie. Right. Obviously, Dave's not here. He's having a rest up before he goes on the tear at the Thyestes tomorrow.
You got a lift sorted?
Yeah, me. Oh, here, I'm sick of driving. Oh, I drove up to Downroyal yesterday and straight home then after it. The fuck. Oh, speaking of Downroyal, shout out to Elaine O'Farrell, who race display, you know her. Had a winner at Downroyal yesterday. We had the pleasure of being with her all day. Mr. Burko, 14-1, 20 each way. Get in.
Happy days. Yeah, well done, Elaine. I saw him win. He's won well, actually.
He won very well. Oh, the place, look, it just goes to show how much everyone thinks of Elaine. The whole place was, I think everyone was over congratulating her, be from jockeys to people working there for race goers. She probably you'll find it hard to meet a nicer woman in racing than Elaine. She's a gem, God bless her.
Shame Alice couldn't match it, but
Alice got interfered a lot.
Yeah, she was lame. She was lame this morning, so a bit of an excuse there. Hopefully she comes right in the next few days. But yeah, I have to put a line through that one, unfortunately, and hopefully she gets better. Cool Arcade tomorrow.
Yes.
This day, Goran, can't wait to have a runner.
And you're not going?
I am going, yeah.
Well, you are going?
Yeah.
You never told us that. What time are you going at? Theory's at 10:30. Will you all be there?
No, some of us have to work. I'm working in the morning and then getting off for the afternoon to go up there. But
could you bring your laptop with you, stick it on the table in Kerry's, and if they need you, answer it while you're drinking a pint.
And I have to drive, so
do
I. We don't condone drink driving on this show.
It's not drink driving. I have one, and by the time racing is over, it'll be well out of my system.
I'll have a glass of champagne if Cool Arcade wins. He's in the first. As that gives me a good 3 or 4 hours. So,
I don't condone drink driving, but if Cool Arcade wins, I'm going on a piss.
He's got a good chance, I think. I hope so. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. There's been a lot of money for Robert Dinosaurs. It's what price was it? 40-1 into as short as 8-1.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Form figures of 90000. So
it'll be the same tomorrow, 0.
What can you do?
You have a habit of finding, you're into 92 favourite, Thomas.
Yeah, I see he's into 92 now, yeah.
Opened up the 6s.
there's a few of them at the head of the market, and they've all got their chance, in fairness. So, and then you've got obviously Mr. Duck Eggs there, who
quacking his way up the bloody.
God knows what that's going to do. But we'll see. Back to 2 miles. I think 2.5 on bottomless ground was stretched in last day, so soft ground there tomorrow, and back to 2 miles should suit. And got a good chance, but we'll see.
Come on, Cool Arcade. Right, a bit of housekeeping before we go. Cheltenham Festival Bank Builder is back the weekend again. So there is 2 races on Saturday where if you pick the winner of, you will get a €5 free bet for the Cheltenham Festival. You find all the terms and conditions on hollywoodbest.ie or .co.uk. And money back specials tomorrow. The first one is the Thyestes, so that is the 305. And the second one is at 2:35. So money back second to the SB favourite at 2:35 and 3:05 at Gorham Park tomorrow. And you'll find every day you'll have money back specials on hollywoodbest.ie and .co.uk. So you will see them all over there. On to the racing, I think. Oh, we have an announcement on Sunday about our Cheltenham Festival preview night. Everything is just about sorted. So I'm just crossing the T's and dotting the I's and making sure we're all good to go. And then I can announce everything that's happening. I can announce the date that is happening. It's on the... Hold on. Just make sure I get this right. It is on March the 3rd, which is a Thursday. I will announce venue and times and guests and how you get to go there and so on and so forth. So I'm hoping to announce all that on latest Wednesday. It could be earlier on social media. And if it is, I'll explain everything then on Sunday. Now, on to the racing. We're going to start with 2 races at Gorham Park tomorrow. We're going to go with the Gallimi Hurdle and the Thyestes Chase. But we will start with the Gallimi Hurdle, where we have Classical Dream, the favourite for the Stairs Hurdle, in 4-9 on. Royal Kahala at 5s. Gentleman's Game 11s. 16s for Commander of Fleet. Mr. Judy here at 16s. Ashley Bob 33s. And bigger the rest. On paper, Tom, this looks like a good thing for Classical Dream. But I don't think it's going to be that easy with Royal Kahala in there. And there's 1 or 2 at bigger prices that could really upset him. I think the step up and trip for Royal Kahala is going to suit her. But she will obviously need to raise her game to beat him.
Yeah, this is her first step outside of Nair's company. So yeah, I do think she's going to have to up her game. She does go up in trip as well. She beat Heaven Help Us by neck last time, so I hope she can go in front of the form and at least run well. But to be honest, I just thought Classical Dream would beat these. I know he gives Royal Kahala £9, but she's £26 behind him on official ratings. Gentleman's Game is £24 behind him. He was disappointed in the last day and is a bit of a retrieval mission for me. His novice form is good, but he needs to come back to that novice form. If he did, I think he'd probably be the one to put it up to him. But to be honest, I think Classical Dream should just be winning, really.
Yeah, it's one of these where if you look into it too much, you kind of start making it complicated. It's more or less finding who follows home. Royal Kahala, as you said, steps up and trip, but steps outside of her own sex company for the first time. Then you're looking at the rest for much of the muchness. As you said, Gentleman's Game last round was disappointing. Mr. Judigator is coming back from a good break. Commander Fleet, if he came back to his win before the last time, he'd have a chance. Ashdale Bob is coming down back over hurdles from fences, where that went tits up for him. And then if you go back to his hurdle form last year, his second behind Galliard de Mezenil, and he was going to be second behind Bob Allinger in the Lawlers and Ace. That reads decent form. If he could recapture that and with the step up and trip, he could play a big part at 33-1. But at the end of the day, Classical Dream should be winning this with his head in his chest. Well, his head in the floor, because that's all the way he runs. But yeah, look, it's nice to see these kind of horses run in meetings like this. So I'm looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. Now, moving on to one of the most competitive races of the season, the Goths Thyestes Handicap Chase. I just get the betting here. as always, Tom, a hugely open affair. We've a lot of gambles already. I think there's been 4 or 5 different favourites since the betting's come out. You have Dealcar, who's now 11-2 favourite. Breeside is 6s. Eclaterie 13-2. Ascaria 10 is 8s. Longhouse Poet 8s. Franco Laporte is 11s. Crystal Dream is 14s. And not much bigger the rest. Where are you starting with this one?
I think, look, the place where I started when I saw the entries, and I said this would be very, very interesting if he runs here. And
as we speak, Eclaterie has just been shortened from 7-1 into, or 13-2 into 11-2.
Yeah, Eclaterie, for me is hugely exciting. We were massive fans of him, as were a lot of people for the Hennessy, the Ladbrokes Trophy, and he just ran no race there. But apparently, he came back with a little injury. So, as he did, you can put a line through that. And on the back, if you take that race out, I think we're still talking about him being a well-handicapped horse who, could possibly aim for a Gold Cup. So, I'm happy to give him another chance. He got injured last day, so just forget it. You're gonna have lots of people say, "Oh, he pulled up last day," but you just completely put a line for those ones. And to be honest, if that race hadn't happened, he'd be a very short price. He went off 3-1, I think, for that Hennessy. So that was it. That was incredible. Henry's horses do seem to be turning a bit of a corner. But a few winners, and what he's actually has a load of placed horses. Like Down Royal yesterday, we obviously know about Alice. She got a little knock. But his other horses, third at 5-1, second at 14-1, second at 4-1. So they're solid performances. I actually went through his stats. He's tracking for his highest ever year numerically. And he still has a 15% strike rate, which he had last year, and 16 the year before, and 16 the year before. So I think, some people are saying they're not 100% firing, and I don't think they are 100% firing, but that just shows, he's still banging in his winners. He's had 80 winners this year. They're not going too badly. So I'm happy to take a chance on Eclaterie. I suppose we'll go for a few more of them as we go, Andrew, if you want to give your one.
Mine is the exact same as yours. Eclaterie. More or less what you said. If you scrap his last run in the Hennessy, we're looking at a very exciting horse. And look, I went through some of the previous winners of this race, and 5 out of the last 8 winners have carried 11 stone 4 or more. So you'd like to Total Recall, Invitation Only, Champagne West, Jack Adam on his own. All very good horses in their own right, and you could easily put him in this bracket. So it's not a race anymore where you're getting bottom weights winning. It's the good horses that are coming to the fore the whole time. So the ground is going to be right for him. The trip is right for him. And like his form alone, you have, like, he beat Schoolboy Hours easily, who went on to win a Paddy Power. He beat Ascaria 10, who reopposes today, who ended up being third in the National Hunt Chase. You've Conflated, who he beat, who went on to win a Grade B Handicap Chase. The form is there for everyone to see. If you just forget his last run, even if you go back and look at it, the amount of money that was on him for him to go and win that race, he was a clear favourite. He was a talking horse around it. You'd be very hopeful this fella's going to get the business done. I'm very confident in him. I know the Thyestes is a very, very competitive race, but over the last few years, myself and Dave and my cousin Patrick have gone to the last 10 bar COVID, and it's always, majority of the time, it's the really good horses by the top of the weights always come to the fore every year, be it placed horses, be the winners. They're always in thereabouts. But I think he has the takings of Dealcar, Breeside. We get on to Ascaria 10. Ascaria 10, I was talking to Dave before we came on. He's Dave's fan, so he thinks he's well handicapped on the back of his third behind Galvin in the National Hunt Chase. But I think for a horse like that to come into this a race as a competitive this on your first run of the season, I think it's going to be very hard for him to win this on the back of that. But look, he's trained by Gordon Elliott. Hullock, who's a master. Listen, be honest about it. There's a few more one I'll throw at you as well, Tom, who I'm very skeptical of. There's been a lot of money from Franco de Port. First off, I don't think the trip is going to suit him at all, and I don't think his jumping is going to hold up in a race like this.
Trip might be an issue, yeah. I think he might jump a little bit better here because it's a handicap and it's over 3 miles. They'll be going that stride slower, so I actually think it'll help his jumping. The trip isn't an unknown, but if you go and look at the horses he's been running against, like he ran in the Savills, didn't he? Then he ran the John Durkin this year, and then last year he's behind Jandil Shishkin and Ergamene Darva Star. He beat in a Grade 1. Mm-hmm. So the talent is there, and I'd actually give him a bit of a shout, to be honest. He's only a 7-year-old. Willie Mullins again, obviously trains pretty close to Goran. He'd have this in mind for something picked out for anyway. And yeah, he's actually one I'd give a shout to. The other one is actually another Henry de Bromhead horse, Chris's Dream. He's got top weight. He's off a mark of 162. But if you go back to his previous form in Grade 1s, it's very good. It's very good. He bolted up off 146 at Navan in the Troy Town. Now I know he's a lot higher here in the handicap. He's 16 pounds higher. But that said, I still think he was going to win. I know Snow Leopardex was extremely game, but by God, he was catching the eye and going very, very well in the Beecher. So I don't rule him out of running a good race anyway. And another one, I'd actually, of the lower weights then, Stones and Roses, Willie's horse, he's a reserve. So there's no guarantee that he'll run. But he's got a bit of experience now, and he'll stay well. He's interesting enough. And Expatriate, trained by Elmarie Holden, another Kilkenny native. This lad was 4th behind Total Recall in this 2 years ago now. Had a 413-day break before finishing 4th at Ascot. Is off 144, ran 4th in this off 146. I'm sure he'll find something too good, but if you were getting extended place terms, I wouldn't rule him out of being in the first 5 or 6.
One who I actually have a bit of a squeak on at 40-1 is Foxy Jacks. He wasn't far behind Breeside in Paddy Power, I think it was last time out. Let's double check. Behind Breeside in the Paddy Power. Breeside was 4th and it won that Schoolboy Hours one. He was only just over 3 lengths behind Breeside, and he has a big handicap win to his name at Punchestown at the festival, and the ground is going to be right from the way around is going to be right from. He gets away mid-race. He's very hard to catch back. I know his jumping is a big issue for him because he's a bit of a head case at jumping, but he's a huge engine, and I think 41 is way too big for him. I think 41 4 or 5 places. I wouldn't put anyone off backing him, especially when you consider the price of Breeside, when he's only 3 lengths to find with him. Him. And I echo what you say about Crest's Dream as well. He's another one if you get his last 2 runs. He's placed in a Grade 1 before behind, what's his name? Moon Cardinalius horse up in Down Royal. Oh, the name escapes me right now. What is his name?
Which horse?
Storyteller.
Which horse you want about in this race?
Chris's Dream.
Chris's Dream.
Oh, the one before that. The big price one.
No, that was Foxy Jacks.
Yeah, Chris's Dream.
The Storyteller.
Yeah. And the ground is going to suit him. Look, you could say that a lot about a lot of them, but this is how competitive he is. But at the end of the day, I think Eclat Doree, if you forget his last run, he's going to be very, very hard to beat. And of the bigger price, I think Foxy Jack is way overpriced.
I'm gonna throw another one out here as well, right?
You have to fucking field.
This just shows how competitive it is. But this lad was 3rd in the race last year off 147. He's off 146 now. Is Class Conti, Willie Mullins.
Oh, I get roped into that fella every year.
Yeah. 28-1 in fairness, so he's a decent price. He didn't run very well in the in the Paddy Power last time, but he also came into this last year off of a 106 length defeat in the Paddy Power. So if you look at him, he was actually second the year before that as well. So this race obviously suits him. So don't rule him out at all. So
I'm looking forward to Cheltenham to loser, anyway.
Competitive race though, isn't it?
Oh,
like,
I love Thyestes.
loads.
And it's the first proper race meeting that crowds are going to be allowed back. So there's going to be some crowd at tomorrow.
Yeah, and like as they call it, I think the race that stops a county. Like locally, it's got such a following. I remember skipping school and going off on buses from the pub up to this when I was
we're not condoning skipping school.
Definitely not old enough to be doing that. But yeah, no, I remember doing that when I moved over here, and it's a fantastic race. And I'm delighted to have a runner there tomorrow. It's going to be
it is
really good.
About 6,000-7,000 there, won't there?
Yeah, there'd be about 5 anyway, at least I think so.
5,000-6,000. Right, we are moving on. We are going to Saturday and the Cheltenham trials. Only means one thing: we're getting closer and closer to Cheltenham. Right, so I'm going to start with the 155, the Paddy Power Cheltenham Handicap Chase. Another hugely competitive race, Tom. Farnet is in there installed as favourite. Winner Sandown last time out. Went off a well back horse for the Paddy Power in November. Rachel was booked up and everything. Would you give him a chance?
You give him a chance in his last run, but you wouldn't give him much of a chance on his run at Cheltenham, and that's kind of what worries me. His form is on soft ground. This is going to be better ground here, so he's actually one I'd be keen enough to take on. I'd look a bit further down. I fancied Fusil Raffles for this, but he looks like he's going to go and run at Doncaster. So look, I was struggling a bit after that, to be honest. And the one I'm going to throw up at a random price, and if you can get place only betting, I would take it. And that's Spirit of the Games.
Dan Skelton's.
Dan Skelton's horse. Look, goes very well at Cheltenham. Is now down to a dangerously low chase mark of 137. This lad was rated well up in the 140s a couple of years ago now, and was running well in these sorts of races and getting placed in them off of those marks. The handicap has given them a chance. He was only beaten 7 lengths at Cheltenham in the Paddy Power Gold Cup in November. That was off 144. So he's £7 lower now. I'm not saying he's going to win, but the good ground will suit, the triple suit. We know he likes the course, and we know he's becoming well handicapped. So at 20-1, if you can get a bit of place betting, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm like you in finding it hard to find one, and I fell on Watmore for Henry Daly. He's coming here on the back of a huge break. His last run was 28th of November 2020 when he was beat a length and 3/4 by the good old York Hill. But he went off 9-4 favourite that day to win that on the back of a second behind Regal Encore at Ascot. He's dropped 2 pounds since. And I think he runs well fresh. He's a length and a half behind Regal Encore off a 235-day break. He was then beaten 3 3/4 lengths off the back of a 168-day break, and he's beat 3 lengths on the back of a 199-day break. It's a hugely open race. God only knows what's going to win it. Richard Patrick is booked up already. He's a 10-year-old, so I think with his age taken into consideration, I reckon he'll be forward enough for this. So I think Watmore at 14-1 will be a decent each way bet. Falco Blitz won nicely the last time, but he's not really a horse that enjoys backing up his runs. Like his last win before that was back on the 22nd of February 2021, and his run after that he was beaten 17.5 lengths, and he's beaten 4 lengths after that, and then 6.5 lengths. So he's a horse that doesn't really back up his wins, so he's one I'd be keen to take on there as well. Same with you, Farnet. I know he lost a shoe at Cheltenham the last time. It was a bog at Sandown when he won. Galahad Question, he just needs to be literally dropped on the line, and it's hard to do that around Cheltenham. unless you're Paul Carberry sticking your arse up in the air. And at that is the challenge. But yeah, I'm quite confident that Watmore will run a decent race. 10 stone 9. Yeah, him at 14 won't be the one for me now on this. Sheesh, where am I going to next? 2:30. 2:30 Cotswold Chase. Interesting race now that a high senior has been entered into it. Obviously, we know he's a novice. We have Chantry House in there as favourite and a high senior. I write simply the best. Santini, Cool Cody, Expatriate, and Puerto Rico. Tom, very decent race. You going to give Chantry House another chance, or are you going back with simply the bets?
I'm not going with simply the bets anyway. I would probably give Chantry House another chance in this. Yeah, I just think the pace they went in at King George last day, that was his first run. I mean, I know he ran against the big breakaway, which it wasn't a novice race, but essentially was a novice race. There was only 2 of them running. It was his first run out of novice company, and I think it just blew his mind. I don't think he knew what happened, and he had no chance to get himself gathered and together. Happy to give any horse another go on the back of those circumstances. A Hoi Senior is the obvious one against him for me. Brave Man's Game beat him at Kempton and whatever the Hoi Senior fans want to say. I think he beat him pretty soundly. I think Brave Man's Game is now the better horse over fences. But this is his first run at Cheltenham. So, it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. He has gone well on better ground, so that is a positive. And this is, it's a fact-finding mission, really. I think with a Hoi Senior, you're going to find out where exactly he is. And then you've got Iright and Santini. But yeah, for me, I'd stick with Chantry House. Would I back him at even money? No. But if you want me to pick the winner, I'd probably pick Chantry House.
Yeah, as much as I hate it, he looks the most likely winner. I don't like the whole throwing novices into open company, especially off the back of a below par run at Kempton. Look, I think he'll jump better at a course like this. I don't think Kempton was his ideal track. He's a lot to find with Chantry House, and even he has a lot to find with Iright. So I'm finding it hard to make a case from. Look, you can make a case from, but you'll find as fans that will make a case from. I just think a horse is coming out of novice into open company in the middle of a season is not ideal. When you take in consideration, Iright's more of a handicapper than anything. Chantry House has by far the best form in the race, unless you want Santini to go back 6 years ago and suddenly find a spark, which won't happen. He's the most likely winner, though, isn't he, Chantry House?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right. We'll leave it at that.
People will get back on the Gold Cup train then when he goes and wins this, but don't get too carried away.
No. One that everyone thought was going to be a Gold Cup horse, but now was back over hurdles, is Champ, who is installed at very short odds for the Cleve Hurdle. Paisley Park's in there. Just get the betting, sorry. Paisley Park is in there, second favourite. At 3-1, we have Mac Fabulous at 4s, then we 14, Listening at Oscar, Don Levant at 16s, Cool Cody 33s, and Dandy Mag at 33-1. Is this just the English version of Classical Dream? Turn up and win.
I was just going to say, if you want to do a double this weekend of short prices, I think you'd find worse bets than doing Champ and Chantry and Classical Dream in a double. I think both of them are by far and away most likely to win their races. Champ the last day for me, that was kind of him becoming a man almost. He's gone and messed around jumping fences and not been good at it, and acted a bit of a muppet really at times. And then he's gone and run a cracking race. Nicky said he was waiting for him to blow up. That tells you he thought there was a bit more there fitness wise. He's gone on better ground before as well. He beat Paisley Park hands down that day. I think he'll beat me even further this time.
I think he's, as you say, he's a God-given certainty in this, in my opinion. His run at Ascot was good. He looked like he was going to get reeled in, but he just kept battling away. John Joe Neal keeps the ride, which I think is good. He gets on well with him, as you can see at Ascot. I think this is going to be something like the Supreme Novice. Classical Dream be favourite after Thursday. Then the Talking Horse be champ, joint favourites and things like that. Look, if the two of them turn up on the day, it's going to be a good race. But in context of Saturday, I'd be lying if I'll be sitting here and trying to make a case for the rest of them. I just think he's going to absolutely batter the rest of them. I think he's that far ahead of him. Classical or Paisley Park's legs are gone. Mac Fabulous doesn't stay well enough. Don Levant, I think, is the one that will be placed at a bigger price. I could see him running on late when Paisley Park and Mac Fabulous are trying to beat Champ. He'll be picking up the pieces at the end, but at the end of the day, Champ is going to batter these. And yeah, I think that double, even the treble with that Willie Mullins horse, the big talking horse that's running tomorrow in the bumper. Everyone and their father knows about this thing, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I do, or if it's because of what Richie, the now mullet wearing Rich.
Did you see the course of him? What in the name of God has he been up to?
Wow, like I need my haircut at the minute.
I was going to say I thought my hair was bad right now.
By God, I haven't got a mullet coming out of the back of my hat. Fair play. It's great to see.
Look like a fox's tail or something.
Yeah, I wonder, is it just because of what he said?
Probably.
That can go and win tomorrow for me. I'm not. If I'm hanging around, and I'll probably hang around and watch the race near the exit. If you see me in the betting ring tomorrow for the bumper, drag me out of there fast.
No. The whole thing was cool. Okay, will be after winning. Tom be 6 points in. Getting the money. Come on, lads. Let's go in on this thing. Focus.
Trying to pay someone to bring my car back to Exeter.
Oh, just leave it outside clear. He's be grand. Oh, for the love of God. Right, move on. Ballymore Novice Hurdle. This thing is annoying me now, sorry. We have Balco Coastal in at 13-day favourite. We have Hillcrest at 3-1, Peking Rose at 5-1, the Brovnik Harry at 11-2, North Lodge at 7s, Green Book 8, a different kind 8s and 14-1 bigger. The rest, Balco Crest a bit short in my opinion, Tom. Hillcrest is the one I'm really interested in this one, but where are you going for? Or who are you going for, should I say?
Balco Coastal is definitely too short in my book. Form for me doesn't completely stack up, and I'm definitely happy to take him on. Hillcrest was very good at Cheltenham last day. I loved the way he came up the hill, half looking around. He was always just doing enough. I thought Richard Patrick gave him a great ride. He actually didn't pick up a stick on it. He just pushed him out all the way and knew what he was doing on him. It was a really, really good ride. He'll have his chance. Dubrovnik Harry absolutely bolted up last day. Again, not too sure what he beat, but he absolutely battered them. The one I'm going for, though, is a bit bigger price. It's 10-1. The Alan King train, North Lodge, a presenting 5-year-old, only had the one run in a novice hurdle at Aintree. Was 14-1, so not exactly fancied, I don't expect. Beat a horse called Bombs Away, who had been impressive when winning the Sandown Maiden Hurdle, but for the time before that, sadly, he got fatally injured that day. Richmond Lake then was third. He's the horse who finished second, beaten 3 lengths behind John Bon at Haydock. The time before that, he'd won by 27 lengths. So, and before anyone says it, I know I crabbed his form last week, but we're not talking about John Bon here. We're in a different grade of
backtracking. You're backtracking. Just a minute, it's backtracking.
No, we're in a different grade now, to be honest. And they were 16 lengths clear. I think that is pretty good form. And I think he's maybe a horse who'll come on for that. RPR of 126. Half brother to Winter Escape, that JP horse that came over to Aidan Howard. And yeah, I'd go with him. I think he's way overpriced actually at 10-1.
I'm going with Hillcrest. I was very impressed with what he done at Cheltenham the last time, taking the absolute piss coming up the hill, beat I am Maximus, who was a big talking English horse at the start of the season, and beat him very, very convincingly. I think he got one slap of the whip going up the hill. He is a monster of a chaser in the making. So I doubt we'll see him at the festival, even if he wins this. I think Henry Daly was saying that he's not going to run him on anywhere near good ground. So, of course, it's good ground there. So if he runs here, then
I'd be questioning if he runs there on that ground. He's a massive horse.
Oh, he's huge. And I've seen the going there was good. But, geez, why did they do that? Like, why did they say they're not going to run them on good ground? They fucking do it. It really annoys me. Same with these fake entrants. Bar Gordon's one a few weeks ago. That was fucking genius.
This happened to me last week with Fakir. I was so pumped to put him up. All of his form outside of grade ones. And then they go running by.
I have him as me nap. I have him as me nap. I never seen the ground as good. For fuck's sake, like. We're not. He's a big chaser in the making. I know he's 7, but we're looking into his future. He's not running on good ground. Yeah, Richard Patrick jocked up. Oh yeah, Cheltenham, lovely. Oh yeah, good ground for fucking dickhead. Why? Like, it really bothers me. Like,
it's Dave's turn next week. We've had a week of it each now, so
fucking hell. I don't know what to say now. If he doesn't run, Dubrovnik carries for me. Just because I fly into Dubrovnik a lot. Only reason behind it. No other reason. I'm pissed off now.
I'm so glad that you know exactly how I felt after that race last week.
So pissed off, like.
Yeah.
Like, he's a monster. He won by 2 lengths, taking the piss out of him. 20 lengths. Fuck off. I'm getting on to next week. Where are we going next? I'm pissed off. Who are you going with again?
I am going.
Sorry for the person. I'm not really.
I'm going North Lodge. Yeah.
North Lodge. Right, off to Donny we go. 135. Lightning Novice Chase. There is no betting for this right now. But we have Third Time Lucky, Warlord, Do Your Job, For Pleasure, Friend of Four, and Fugitive. Wow, that's dodgy.
Fugitive.
Who the Fugitive you going for?
I mean, look, I suppose Third Time Lucky to bounce back again. Warlord was good the other week, wasn't he? But he that was only 6 days ago, so I'd be surprised if he turns up here. For Pleasure, yeah. Friend of Foe, yeah. So not probably Third Time Lucky, but yeah, not a betting race for me.
Keep talking from it. Dave has something to say about this race. He gave it to me somewhere.
It's probably abuse somewhere along those lines.
Friend or foe?
Oh, okay.
I think he's at the putting up his nap and just trying to find it. Where the fuck do you put it? I don't know. Anyway, Dave for friend or foe.
I'll get Dave's nap and next best for when we give ours, because I know he dropped him in here earlier.
Third Time Lucky is the one that's clear on the ratings.
He didn't tip for friend or foe. He tipped for pleasure.
Oh, for pleasure. Sorry, I'm nearly full sure I said I have a wrote down all for pleasure. I do look at for pleasure wrote down and all day next to it.
Oh, you're talking right up there.
Hillcrest is out there throwing me all together. What was I saying? I'm going to go with Warlord. I don't like Third Time Lucky. I think he's Jesus Christ, man. There, I'm not really a fan of him. I think Warlord won well last time. He was beaten by Edward Stone the time before that. And I think the last one have all nearly been beat by Edward Stone the same distance. For Pleasure, when the Mickey Mouse race around, was a Plumpton the last time, beating Nassalam, who just doesn't like winning, bar when 3 fall in front of him, and he's left with no choice but to win. But yeah, Warlord, I'll have a go with him. Not one I'm going to be much interested in now. Right, Yorkshire Rose, Mayor's Hurdle. Miranda takes the beating, Tom.
No.
Oh yes, good, because I don't like this race.
Yeah, no, I think she's a crazy short price, to be honest.
Especially with the way she's given away.
Yeah, look, she's got the highest rating in there, hasn't she? But she's got to give some weight away. And she's not a horse I would bet any money on it 4-5 anyway. I'm happy for her to go and win if she wants.
So you're going with the horse you're sending over?
The horse I'm sending over.
John McConnell. Get there quicker, please.
Very funny, very funny. No, the one I'm going to go with is Evan Williams' horse, Current Mood. Wasn't beaten far last time out in a mare's novice, a good mare's listed novice hurdle at Haydock. I think the step back to 2 miles will actually suit here. And if you look at her form of the last 2 races, she's running the 2 novice hurdles that Blazing Carl won at Cheltenham, and she hasn't been beaten a million miles in either of them. She was beaten 7 lengths the first time, 16 lengths the next day. If you look at those race distances, 2 mile 5 the first day and 3 miles the next day, she's pretty much ran similar races. I think coming back to 2 miles, she bolted up off Foslas over 2 miles on her first start this season. And to be honest, I'm actually pretty keen on her. I think she'll run a big race.
I was keen on her in the 2 races she ran at Cheltenham, and she just annoyed me now. So yeah, she'd probably win this now on unknown form back down to 2 miles, as you said. I find it hard to pick much of a muchness. Like John McConnell's thing has been back from 10s into 4s. It's a race I'm not keen on putting anything up, really. Probably Current Mood, because I'd probably follow her off a cliff at this stage. But Miranda, given, what was it, £6 or more away? £6 maximum away. She probably should win, but it's probably a race where you look outside the favourite, really. Right, enough of that show. Right, moving on to the Albert Bartlett trial. Prices are as follows as soon as this thing decides to fucking work. Albert Bartlett, we have... Oh, right, interesting. Hillcrest has been back from 3s into 7-4 for this. Right. Hillcrest, repeat what you said in the other race. Hillcrest is in a 7-4, Unanswered Prayers is 7-2, Green Book of 4s, World of Dreams is 5s, Silver Flyer 6s, and 8-1 big at the rest. Tom, I know I said it before and I say it again, Hillcrest is certainty.
I think there's a horse called Hillcrest here. Probably.
Never heard of
this is good ground at Doncaster as well. Yeah, God only knows if he's going to run.
Excuse me while I scribble this out once again.
Sick. This is a really tricky race. Can
I put up Hillcrest for the both of them and hope that
you can. We'll allow you that, Andrew. And I guarantee he runs at both. I guarantee he runs at none of them.
Well, that'll be some fucking feat.
The one I throw up is Bold Getaway, Gordon Elliott's horse. If it comes over, won a maiden hurdle at Limerick over Christmas. Well, looks like a stayer to me, and I'd throw him up. Has got a good run behind Galliard de Mesnil at Leopardstown last Christmas, and yeah, if he comes over, I'd give him a shot, but not a race I'm massively enthused about at all.
Right, if Hillcrest doesn't run, the one I actually was looking at is Anthony Honeyball's World of Dreams. He was beat by Staghorn, who went on to win the Leamington Novice Hurdle last time out. That was only his second run over hurdles for Staghorn, so he seems to be a good horse. He was beaten by him, and then he went on to beat Essential Joe really easily, and that horse was backed like the feet was out of the question that day. He actually ran today and finished second in a decent handicap. I think it was at Warwick or somewhere like that, but I think he's a horse on the improve. He's a bit defined on ratings, really, with a few of them, but I think he's a horse on the up. I liked how he got the job done the last day. He stuck to his task well behind Staghorn, and I think at a price as 5-1, I think is a fair price for him. And I think if Hillcrest doesn't run, I will be backing him, and it will be a nice bet on him now if Hillcrest doesn't turn up. This is the last one, I think. Oh, so much right now. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Last one. Thyestes Chase. Finish off on an easy one, Tom, just for you.
You know where I'm going here anyway.
Ah,
Don't you?
Fusel.
What's that?
Fusel.
Really?
Should I just
Come
say?
on, man.
Hold up now. Wait. Hold up now.
Come
Whoa.
on. You know where I'm going here.
Oh, Christ, is DBC it now?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I thought he was dead.
No,
This is the part where Dave would get up and walk that way.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why, but he would. He he did get an injury after his run last year. We got stuck. Well, I got stuck into him anyway, and told you lot to get stuck into him as well. And Harry Skelton gave one of his front running rides.
So Harry Skelton gave him a Harry Skelton,
where he just went faster and faster and faster, and halfway down the back, he was about 20 lengths clear. I have absolutely no idea why he did what he did. But anyway, the horse got beat. The horse finished second. I still think he's incredibly well handicapped. He's off 135. Just to put it into context, this lad was third in Grade 1 back in his Novice Hurdle days.
And what year was that? There we go. Come on, get the year.
5 years ago, but we're a long way from Grade 1.
I was still playing football 5 years ago.
Yeah, this is only his second run for Dan Skelton. I think he's incredibly well handicapped. He's had a wind up now as well. He could have found a lot easier races for him than this, right? But he was 18-1 when the betting opened up. He'd been stuck into this for a reason. Dan's very good at targeting a race. He'd only have 10 stone 2 if I write runs here, which look, he might not, but either way, he's going to have a low weight. And Harry's jocked up. I think he's got a hell of a chance.
I don't know. He's at an age of 11 now. I got it the last time where he had the form to play a part in it. What price? 8-1 now. But there is a lot of money from us.
He's not going to run him here if he thinks he's gone at the game.
Oh, in fairness to Dan Skelton, he's well able to get a horse ready first time up, as you've seen with, what was it, West Corkway, was it? That won the
West Cork? Yeah.
Yeah, well, where am I getting the way up? West Cork won the Great Wood at Cheltenham. Okay. That's probably not the worst shout in the world. I'm going to go with Evan Williams and Sam. He beat what's his name? Phoenix Way. Phoenix Way the last time, who beat Fanny and Destraval at Ascot last Saturday. And the two of them were a good 13 lengths clear third. He's gone up 6 pounds from his last win, and I think he's been back. Look, all of them seem to be back in this, but he's opened up at 14s. He's in the 7s now. I think this trip suits him. These kind of fields suit him. 7-1, he'll do in a race like this. Fusil Raffles 4-1. He's the class activist. Commodore, who's this big, lovely grey front run jumper, he could be hard to peg back around Doncaster if he gets into a rhythm around there. But and Sam at 7-1 is the one I'm going to roll in with this. Yeah, and Sam for me. Now, Naps next best. We finish it up. Tom.
I'll give you Dave's there first. And come back to me. So Dave's Nap is the horse that we said we would both take on. Balco Coastal in a 340 at Cheltenham. And he has not put an next best. So
I'm going to say for pleasure.
That's Dave's Nap. He's going all in there. He also tipped, just in case you want to know, he tipped Classical Dream in the 205 at Gorham.
Wow. How long did it take him to do that one?
Surprise.
Jeez. Value.
Yeah, value.
Should be 1-7. See that horse the weekend that got beat 1-100? That Japanese yoke.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. Was it that price?
Oh, well, according to...
Probably wasn't their tote. Yeah, it probably wasn't their tote over there.
Yeah, I just seen some... I didn't see the race, but I seen that, yeah, some article said it was 1-100 on. What's the name of it again? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was like 16 race unbeaten streak or something.
Yeah. My nap is Hillcrest, wherever the hell he decides to run, if he runs. My next best is Eclat de Riz for the Thyestes.
My nap actually runs tomorrow at Gorn in the 2:35. It's a horse called the Gradual Slope, trained by a guy called Sean O'Brien, who's well able to train. Had a few nice runs, Andrew, where we call them educational
runs, Tom.
Educational runs in maiden hurdles. Somehow this horse got off. Well, in fairness, he's probably about the right mark of 105. He ran in a really competitive 26 run and novice handicap hurdle at Leopardstown, finished 4th. Again, he didn't really get stuck into him until after the last that day, and he closed well to the line. It's the first day he'd had a proper race. Went to Punchestown then and only got put up £1. Finished 5th of 20. Again, go watch it if you want to. Just a nice ride. And he's still off 106 now. So he runs tomorrow. He's currently 8-1. I think he was as big as 12-1. There's been a bit of money for him. And yeah, he's one for me. I'm going to be having a few pennies on him tomorrow at Gurn. And the one
Cool Arcades Moolah will be transferred to this one.
I hope so. I'm going to throw up 2 each way. No, just 1 each way, actually.
Go to 2. Go to 2.
I'm going to have to say 2 now, aren't I?
Yeah.
North Lodge each way and the 340 at Cheltenham. I really do think he's overpriced. And then Current Mood in the 210 at Doncaster. I think she's overpriced as well. 2 of them, I think they're about 10-1 each. Maybe 8-1 Current Mood. But yeah, I think both of those have got good, solid each way chances and are a bit bigger than they should be.
Fantastic. Now, we're off to dust off our finest tweed jackets for tomorrow. So we are back on Sunday for another episode of Talking Points, where we will be doing our live Cheltenham Festival anti-post video as well, because Dave will be back then. And we will have news on our Cheltenham Festival preview as well. So until then, enjoy the rest of the week. If you're going to Thyestes tomorrow, enjoy it. We might see you around there. But until then, we'll see you Sunday live at 8 o'clock for another episode of Talking Points.